Welcome, everyone. Uh, I welcome you to today's kickoff presentation for the hackathon about how to build your AI startup. I will be your MC. My name is Spiros Hadzigeorgiou, and I'm an electrical and computer engineering student and a previous Whisper hackathon winner. What is LabLab actually? LabLab is an initiative designed to stimulate modern artificial intelligence solutions for innovators. Our collaborative approach with the leading AI labs, open source initiatives, and leading tech companies helps us unlock state-of-the-art AI technologies and infrastructure. At this point, I would like to welcome Paul and Matthias. NewNative, both are co-founders of NewNative, the parent company of LabLab AI, to tell us more about LabLab and NewNative.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. We don't have Pavel with us here today, so we'll just have me. Hopefully that is enough. Yes, so at NewNative, that is the parent company, we pretty much work with stimulating and accelerating AI innovation, and we do this in a couple of ways. And one of our initiatives is the LabLab.ai platform, where we basically focusing on trying to figure out what is the new, really interesting technologies in AI that are up and coming, and make sure to create hackathon events around this, where people are coming and building. And yeah, that is pretty much it in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. We can now see the event schedule. Obviously, this is the kickoff presentation. After this presentation, hackathon will officially start, and you can see the timeline here. Some important, you can study it later. Some important aspects, though, are that we have some workshops on Monday and on Tuesday, and by Friday, until Friday midnight, you have to submit your solution. Here I'd like to invite Alicia to explain the platform on Discord.
All right, thanks a lot for the invitation. Happy to have you here, guys, all of you. I'm Alessia. You may probably know me from all other hackathons we have. I'm part of LabLab.ai marketing team. And first of all, guys, please write in the Twitch chat. I'm reading it all the time, and MC as well. You may write all the questions you have to us, to the platform, to the hackathon in general there, and we'll be more than happy to answer during the stream. And please write down in the chat who already had experience working on LabLab.ai hackathon, and especially working with platform. I would be happy to check it, so I will know who is our target audience for today. All right, and while you're writing, let me just make a quick guide for you for this hackathon. So first of all, the first step will be to join the hackathon for sure, and then to create or join team on LabLab. Working in team is quite important because it would be very useful for you and very helpful for you to have team members, and it will make the process of working on the project way faster. And actually, yeah, go and start with creating and finding your team. After that, you will meet your team on Discord or in whatever channel for communication you prefer. And then you will work on defining the concept you will be working on during this hackathon. After this, you will communicate with other mentors, with people who want to help you and to give you some advices. You will communicate your product, your ideas, and they will give you this okay go, and you will go and start working on your solution. And of course, a whole week you will be working on your prototypes, and the sixth final step is submitting your solution, making the nice presentation, and hopefully pitching it on the winner announcement stream. Let's go further. All right, so how to start? When you just enter the platform and you register for the hackathon, please make sure to fill out all the information in your profile. First of all, it's important to make a submission because without the fully completed and fully full out profile, you can't actually submit the project. So you will not show up on the submission page, which is not so good for you because this project is a very good addition to your portfolio and to your CV. So please make sure to add all the important information in your profile and links for social media so we can tag you in our posts. Let's go next and then create or join your team. Yeah, when you just enter the platform and you will enroll to the hackathon, you have your dashboard. On this dashboard, we have this amazing button with creating a new team, or you may scroll down to the list of teams where to find the one that are looking for members and just join it. Okay. After that, yeah, I just told about the same. So to find the team you may join, you need to find this looking for members mark. And right after that, you will just click to the button, join the team, and basically you are working in the team already. Okay, let's go next. Yeah, if your team has more than three members, so team leader and two more people, you will be able to create your Discord communication channel where mentors can communicate with you, and also you may communicate with your team members. So you will find this button on your team page. Let's go next. And actually how to communicate with mentors. Well, on the platform, you have button calling for help, and as a team leader, you may also allow your teammates calling for help. And after you press the button, mentor will see that your team needs help, and they will jump on and start talking to you. Also, you may use tag mentor from the capital letter in the beginning on Discord in whatever channel, better on the hackathon related or on I need help, or also in your team text chat on the voice channel. So mentor will see the mention and go to help you. Let's go further. Yeah, here is the screenshots from Discord channels that you may find useful for yourself during the hackathon. First of all, it's two hackathon channels, about the hackathon that's ongoing now, and also channels who is looking for a team for a specific hackathon. As well, we have more channels to find specific people you need, whether it's programmers or business people. Also, we have a lot of really channels with different types of help, programming questions, and just general I need help channel. And also we have really a lot of educational channel. Please go to Discord and check it out. You will definitely find something useful for you. And also there is a channel to promote your project. So if you want to have a little ad on your solution that you built, feel free to share it with our community in a specific channel. Let's go further. And yeah, finally, if you are working already during the hackathon for like day or two and you see that your team is not active, you have two options. First of all, if you have already the decision, if you have already the solutions you want to work on, you may just basically work in solo or tell to other people that you need some specific members in your team. Other option, you may just ask other teams who has still different, like free spots, and you can be helpful for them describing your background and join the team of others people that are active during the hackathon. And also, we have this amazing channel in EA forum for people who are find their team unactive during the hackathon. So you may just write there and meet other people who are also live without the team and just come together and build your project. You will still have some time to do it. I'm really grateful for you for joining the session. Hope you will not have more questions. If so, we will be happy to answer it or here or then on Discord. Thank you so much, Spiros, and giving the stage for you.
Thank you, Alicia. As you can see from this slide, in today's hackathon, you will use generative artificial intelligence cutting-edge technology that will help you automate processes, thus helping you creating unique content and much more. So the challenge is simple. You have to create an MVP that leverages the power of generative AI to solve a real-world problem. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, an expert, professional, or just a newbie who is starting his way to technology and artificial intelligence, we hope that it will help you bring your ideas and startup to life. So now I will invite Fabian to talk a little bit more about technology and technologies you can use for your solution.
Hey, yeah, thank you very much. So I'm really excited to be here. In this hackathon, we offer a lot of different technologies you can build with. So I will just go over them, and tell you a little bit more about them. So yeah, let's start with the OpenAI models. So first here we have Whisper, which is a speech-to-text model with very high accuracy. You can basically transcribe any audio with ease. So this was very useful in other previous projects. Next, we have GPT-3 and ChatGPT. So first, GPT-3 is the third generation language model from OpenAI with 170 billion parameters. And the model can be used for a wide range of tasks, for example, text generation, classification, and information extraction. And ChatGPT is GPT 3.5. And GPT 3.5 was trained on conversations, and it can just generate responses, code, make suggestions, create bullet points. But I'm sure that most of you are already familiar with ChatGPT. So we can go to the next one, which is DALL-E 2. So DALL-E 2 is OpenAI's text-to-image model. It is capable of generating images from text and also capable of in-painting and out-painting, which is a really cool feature and really useful stuff to build cool applications with. And DALL-E 2 can be used with OpenAI's official API, so it's super easy to integrate it in your own projects. And last but not least, we have Codex, which is OpenAI's code generation model. And Codex is built on top of GPT-3 and fine-tuned on 50 million open source GitHub repos. And it's currently used in production, for example, in a product Copilot. So these are all OpenAI technologies. Let's go over to Cohere. So Cohere has three bigger categories. So Cohere offers Cohere Generate, Classify, and Embed. You can use Cohere Generate to generate text, Classify to classify text into different categories, and also information extraction. And you can use the embed feature to create embeddings for text and use them, for example, in semantic search. Then we also have the multilingual search model. This is basically also a model to go from text to embeddings and then use these embeddings to create search engines. And this is great because this model was trained on a lot of different languages. And of course, on the web, we have people from all over the world. So we can really use this model. And the next thing is Cohere Sandbox. And Sandbox provides open source GitHub repos to quickly build machine learning applications with no prior machine learning experience. And now we have some more models. First, we have AI21 Labs. And with AI21 and AI21 Studio, you can use the platform to actually achieve all kinds of different natural language processing tasks. And you can even train your own models on AI21. Then the next thing is Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion is a text-to-image diffusion model for generating stylized and photorealistic images. The really nice thing about Stable Diffusion is that it's open source and pre-trained, so you can just go to GitHub, download it, and it runs on most consumer graphics cards. And the last thing is YOLO v7. So we had v5 and v6. And YOLO V7 now is a very accurate and fast option detection model. Okay, then the next thing is actually platforms for your demo. So these are really great platforms if you want to get your code out into the world, and host it basically somewhere. So first we have Streamlit. Streamlit is great for Python applications. So you go from a simple Python application to a full-on web app with the help of Streamlit. And Replit is basically a popular online IDE. So you can just create and share your projects and code with other people. And it requires you basically to don't do any setup on your own PC because everything just runs on the website. And next, let's go to the evaluation criteria.
Thank you, Fabian. Your idea and proposal will be evaluated with these criteria. First of all, we have the degree of completion. It basically explains itself. Presentation style. Presentation is very important when it comes to submitting a solution, because you can have the best code, the best product, but no one will give you money or buy your product if you can't communicate that with other people. So it's very, very important. Business value, originality, of course, all the ideas should be somewhat original. Realistic capability and uniqueness, and all comes down to the overall impression that the project or submission has made. Next, we have the prizes. As a hackathon winner, you will have the exclusive opportunity to participate in Next Grid's Slingshot Accelerator program, where you will receive mentorship from industry leaders and cutting edge technology to turn your AI innovation into a thriving business. Next, some tips to win the competition is that you need to have people from a lot of different backgrounds, not exclusively from tech position or technical backgrounds. Of course, you have to have a good communication, convenient place to communicate with all your partners, and time differences is also a problem. You have to work through a schedule and set some deadlines in order to achieve and have something that is worth submitting. Next, your presentation, as I said, is very important. You have to build a demo of your prototype where you can show off its capabilities. The process and building of the prototype, where you have to explain a bit about the way you use the technologies you use. And a business plan is good to have, because from a business plan, the other people can see that you have an idea and how you want to take it to the next level. Next, the presentation should be no longer than 5 minutes, as you can see. Next, product hunt will be explained by Alicia. So thank you very much.
Yes, I will explain about this slide. Thank you so much for inviting me again. Well, guys, we are launching LabLab.ai on Product Hunt, which is a big deal for us. So we are super happy about this. And it will be next week, I believe on Wednesday. Detailed information you will find on our Discord and or on all social medias. It's already posted. Well, what does it mean? It means that you are actually the part of this product. You are people who are building here and who are, the part of LabLab. So you are creating LabLab. And our launch and product hunt will give you a huge visibility as well. So what we are asking you is to wait in for launch and just support us there. And also there is an opportunity to write comments, so we'll be more than happy to read your opinion on LabLab. We will be more than happy to read your suggestions about how we can improve the platform. But yes, please go through the link. You may find it on Discord, and just click this button to be notified when we'll be launched, and support us on Product Hunt. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alicia. Next, we have an interesting speech about analyzing YouTube comments with natural language processing by Lina Merit-Hollis.
Hello everyone, my name is Lina. First of all, I would like to thank LabLab AI and the organizers of this AI Startup Hackathon for inviting me here today. I'm more than happy to share with you what I have been doing with comments on YouTube videos and artificial intelligence algorithms, specifically with natural language processing. So let's start. First, I would like to start with a little bit about me. I am a scientist and also I am an entrepreneur. I am the founder of Minded Bridge, and what I do is to provide to content creators with insights and valuable information from the comment section of their videos. In that way, they can create better content that is aligned with their evolving audiences. It started as an experiment in the playing arena. Then I discovered that the comment section is full of valuable insights and feedback from content creators and consumers and marketing. And I decided to share that valuable information with content creators specifically and provide a service that allows them to understand their audiences. Today I'm going to focus on the insights that I have been sharing with content creators and leave aside the consumers and marketing. So by the end of this talk, you will know the answer to these three questions. These are the three takeaways for today. The first is, why comments on YouTube videos? Also, can you create a business from comments? And the third question is, or the third takeaway is, what do I find in the comments? I will talk about some popular misconceptions, the reading time, and some other aspects of comments on YouTube videos. So let's start with answering the question of why comments on YouTube videos. To this, let's take a look at some of the numbers on YouTube. YouTube has over 2 billion monthly logged in users, and every day people are watching over a billion hours of video, generating billions of views. They have presence in over 100 countries around the world. And the third aspect is something that is really important for me, and is that more than 500 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute. So let me repeat that. 500 hours of content every minute. So that is huge. There is a lot of content that is being uploaded to YouTube. And with that amount of content, of course, we also have a lot of comments, which translates in a lot of data. So here's a question for you. Can the number of likes or views on YouTube tell you everything you need to know as a content creator? So maybe some of you are content creators, not only on YouTube, but also in other platforms, and also maybe not video, maybe you are bloggers or you write a blog. So probably you already know about analytics and you know about the numbers that you can see on YouTube. When you're watching a video, you can take a look at, the number of views or the number of likes. Previously, the number of dislikes. But, well, there are a lot of numbers on YouTube. And the question here is, do you think that those numbers tells everything you need to know if you are a content creator that is trying to grow their channel, that is trying to get more views in any of the videos? Well, in short, numbers and analytics can only reveal part of the story. That is like the main takeaway from this. Analytics are an important part of YouTube, on a YouTube channel, but that is only a part of the story. That is not the complete information that you can get from every video. Analytics is not going to tell you everything you need to know to grow your channel. And this happens because something that one of the big conclusions that I got after all of this time working with comments on YouTube is that comments are equal to feedback. And this is not like a general rule. Sometimes comments are not feedback, and sometimes comments are not sharing something valuable for content creators or for the audiences. But sometimes that happens, and probably, well, it changed a little bit from channel to channel. For some channels, they get a lot of feedback. Some other channels get like a mixture between feedback and opinions and any other kind of contents, like I'm the first person commenting here, that kind of things. So let's keep in mind, this is something really fundamental, and is comments are feedback. Again, not always, but this is something that is really important. It's an important part of the comments environment here on YouTube. And why I'm talking about feedback? Well, because probably you have read others' feedback, or maybe you have written some feedback in companies like Uber, Dell, Apple, and one of the most known, Amazon. So the same thing happens here on YouTube. People add their thoughts and feedback in the comment section of the videos. And I have found that in the comments resides the quote-unquote secret of why people like or dislike the video. Also the answer to questions like, why must people stop watching the video after 30 seconds? Or why suddenly, quote-unquote suddenly, did the video went viral? Let's move on to the second question. Can you create a business from comments? And to answer this question, I want to move on to a little game. So let's play a little game if you want. So let's think for a moment, how many words approximately are in 12,000 comments? And we will talk about a range of words because the answer depends on the length of the comments, of course. So if you have longer comments, you are going to have more words in those 12,000 comments. And if you have really short comments, then the number of words is going to be less, So let's think for a moment, just take a couple of seconds and let's imagine how many words do you think 12,000 comments have? And I'm going to give you 4 options. So the answer is here. Could be A, 1,000 to 10,000 words, or B, 10,000 to 100,000 words. The answer C is going from 100,000 to 200,000 words, and D, over 500,000 words. Well, the answer, and maybe this is not surprising for some of you, is that in 12,000 comments, you can find over 500,000 words. And let's add a little bit of context to this, because this is really, really interesting. Maybe some of you have read The Lord of the Rings. And let me tell you that the entire series has around 500,000 words. And considering that the average reading speed on an adult is around 200 to 215 words a minute, that means that reading those 500,000 words will take around 39 hours. 39 hours, think about it, it's like a full-time job. So it means that if you want to read all the comments in a video that got 12,000 comments, well, it is up to you as a content creator to read the comments or to read a book series of your choice. And this is a real example. All this exercise and this little game, this exercise is based on a real live example, and is this video with more than 12,000 comments. This is a lovely YouTube channel with a lovely community that likes to share in the comment section. So the comments in this particular channel are longer with many words per comment. But here is where you can see the advantages and the power of using AI algorithms, and more specifically, natural language processing. So I'm not going to add more details about the technical side, so we can move on to the results and you can find out what interesting things I have been found in the comment section. So what do I find in the comments? For that, we're going to take this video as an example. I'm talking about Ali Abdal YouTube channel. And probably some of you already know this YouTuber. And for the ones of you that doesn't know who I'm speaking about, Ali is a former doctor turned entrepreneur, and he's exploring evidence-based strategies and tools to be more productive and build a better life. Now I'm going to show you the results, specifically for the video, how to build the ultimate productivity system for 2023. This video was published 6 months ago, and after over 1.7 million of views. Let me show you what I found in the 1,500 comments on this video. So here is an example of what I sent to content creators. And when I send these results to content creators, I like to start with ideas for future videos. These are the ideas that viewers and subscribers added to the comment section. This is absolutely helpful in creating content that viewers want to watch. And as a content creator, you can select the ideas that you will enjoy creating and are aligned with the channel's content. And also, here are all of the ideas, so you can select those. And I like to add the number of likes because that can tell you how many other viewers agree with that idea. Basically, in the end, all of these ideas will help content creators create better content, and that's how I see it. So first, I'd like to start with, let's say, a short version of what do you find in all the ideas that are here from the comments. So this is like a summary of what you can find in the comments. Then I like to add something about the sponsor because, well, in this particular case, the sponsor is Morning Brew, and I like to add what people are saying about the sponsor. And here are the specific comments for it. And yes, it's starting with a little short, actionable addition of what can you expect from the comments. If you don't want to read them, basically, if you don't want to read all the specific comments, then what is the main idea that you will find there. Then also I can talk about the merchandise. If people are mentioning, okay, where can I buy this thing that you are showing in the video, or this other thing that you mentioned, but you didn't add a link to it, that kind of things. So yes, I also add the specific comments for that. And also you can see I am adding the number of likes and that kind of things. In this particular video, many viewers are mentioning that he's talking really fast. But they have comments that are going in two directions. One of those directions is, well, some people are mentioning that they're decreasing the velocity of the video because they can't understand what he's saying, but others take it as an opportunity to practice their English. So yes, you can find the comments here if you want to go to specifics. Then some gratitude comments, because this is an important part of the YouTube ecosystem. And here in particular, I'm adding the gratitude comments for this video. Also, other people that were mentioned in the comments. For this particular video, I added this funny comment. I like to do this because I'm not only using artificial intelligence algorithms here, I'm also enjoying the process. I enjoy the process. I like to read some of the comments. I like to take the time to understand what people are saying. And in that way, I know that I can provide a better service. So I found this comment and I found it, I don't know, really funny. And I found this comment really funny. So that's what I wanted to share with the content creator. And then I'm a scientist. So that part of me is going to be present in everything that I do. So here is I have this geek alert because, yes, I'm mentioning things are getting a little bit nerdy over here. And I added this section just in case that the content creator want to explore and get a little bit more. So what I'm doing here is that I'm adding a word cloud. And this word cloud was made using all the comments in the video. And for me, this is a simplified view. This is just a view. You can see all the comment section in just one look. And this is organized in the usual way for word clouds. The bigger the word, the frequent it is. And well, the most frequent ones are showing what resonates the most with the viewers if they are talking over and over again about a specific topic or a specific brand or something specific about the content. So you can find out about it here just by looking at this word cloud, just by taking a look at it. And then also I like to make plots, I like to make graphs. So that's why I added this graph over here that shows the number of comments over time. This video was published in July 2022. So you can see the number of comments are coming from the beginning, are coming from this month. But then it's decreasing. But what is important from here, what I found really fascinating here is that the number of comments decrease, of course, but people are still commenting 6-7 months later. And that is surprising for me. That is like amazing why people still add comments. And even though they know that the video is from so many months ago, they just take the time to add some comments and to say something. And some grateful comments are coming from, these last few months. So, yes, I found that really interesting. And, I hope this view of what I'm sharing with content creators can give you an idea of what is the service that I'm providing and all the things that you can find in the comment section. So yes, this is really, really interesting for me, and I have been enjoying a lot all of this process, and I have been enjoying a lot learning from all of these comments, and also figuring out different ways of using it and of using and using the comments in a way that is really helpful for content creators, not only on YouTube, but also for other content creators. I'm going to add a little bit more about it at the end of the talk. Now let's talk about how many negative comments do I find. And by negative, I mean insults and offensive comments. Well, the answer is 0, but that has a reason, and is due to the comment restrictions and YouTube's policy about negative comments. But also, I would like to mention that I have found many, many grateful comments and many people sharing how important and how meaningful the video is, or the video that they already watch is changing something in their life, or they're learning something that is important for them, and they add all of that into the comment section. So I'm not trying to say there aren't negative comments out there. I'm just trying to address the fact that the YouTube ecosystem is not just full of negativity and trolls. There are nice comments. So I have been trying to get all of these grateful comments and being sure that they are being shared with content creators and in general with the audiences. And I would like to finish by adding that getting data is a wonderful thing, but it only has value if it gives you real insights. And also, many of you already know this, but I just want to say, in my humble opinion, that there are a lot of opportunities to create businesses in AI, and there is a lot of room for innovation, mostly considering that the AI environment is growing and evolving every second. So we have a lot of room for innovation. That is something that is happening here. And if you want to find me, here is where you can contact me. You can go to the business side and you can visit mindthebridge.com if you want to find what I have been doing with comments. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn or on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Lina's Geek Insight. And lastly, I started a waiting list after getting many requests about sharing the ideas that I found in the comments section. So this waiting list, if you sign up for it, you're going to get content ideas for creating videos or for writing or for blogs. So these are ideas, as I said, from the comment section of YouTube videos. So go to mindthebridge.com to subscribe to the list. And now let's move on to the questions, if you have any. And also, I'm really open to know what do you think about all of this work. I would like to get your feedback, and also if you have any ideas or yes, if you want to share anything with me about this topic, just feel free to contact me.
Hello, guys, once again, and I'm here with Lina. Lina's super happy to have you today with us, and thank you so much for sharing your actual product, which is awesome. So you built your own solution with AI, basically like market solution, which helps businesses, I believe, a lot. And let's have a short Q&A session about it. I see people are asking a lot. I also have a lot of questions for you regarding the project. So probably let's start. Maybe you want to say something in addition to the presentation.
Well, I would like to just say thank you, basically, for watching the presentation and just to absorb all of this information. I know this is something completely new, and I have found like the first step is to share with the world why this is important and how we can manage to get all of this information from comments.
All right. Let me go because I see people really are spamming chat with questions to you. So let me start with probably more business question, but who is your actual target client for this project, and which companies are more likely to be interested in analyzing their like feedback from users by analyzing comments?
The target client are definitely YouTubers at the moment, YouTubers with
Okay.
a big number of subscribers. Not YouTubers that are just starting the YouTube channels, because for this, basically, I'm working with thousands of comments. When you're starting your YouTube channel, probably you're getting just a few comments that you can read on your own. So the target here is more meant for YouTubers or YouTube channels in general that get thousands of comments, and you don't have, I mean, if you don't have the time to read them all, if you don't want to read them all, and you want to interact with your audience and understand what they have to say, what they like or what they dislike, what they want to watch next. Basically, that is the idea, to be able to translate or to like digest all of this huge amount of information that could take you hours reading comments. And so basically have all of this information, but just in a short version very quickly, so you can digest that and know what your audience is saying, getting all of this feedback basically. So that is basically the main target is YouTubers with a lot of subscribers or with a lot of comments. And also I'm exploring a little bit, it's something that I left aside during the talk, implications of all of these comments in marketing. So I did a little bit of that. I published some of this, and you can just look for it on my LinkedIn. But yes, basically having this knowledge of, okay, the market is moving into this direction. I was working with vinyls in that moment, vinyl records, because that is something that is going back and is having a major presence during the last few years. But knowing what people have to say about it, what are the questions that the audience has about vinyls, if you want to buy one, or if you want to build your own system at home, what are the major questions that people usually have? That is something that could be really, really important for people that write blogs, for example, because they know what people are asking, what the buyers are looking for, what kind of information. So it's really useful as well for marketing, on the marketing side, basically.
Yeah, it's like a very good tool for marketing research. for
Yes,
brands as well. And did you have also clients from brands, not only YouTubers for now, or business are not ready yet for this type of AI solutions?
no, I don't have. I'm looking for. I don't have any brand or business at the moment. More than YouTubers have their channels are like businesses. They're generating millions of dollars from it. So it's in a sense they're businesses. They have businesses. They have their YouTube channel as a business, but not with brands at the moment. I need to add that I'm working alone. So all that you see, I built it myself. I'm working alone at the moment, but I know that I need to get more people involved in all of this because I need help. Basically, it's huge.
Okay, that actually was the next question. Like, did you build all these tools alone? I mean, so did you have a team of developers and you was just ideating them, or it was like totally your from the scratch?
Just me from the scratch.
And which technology did you use for that? Probably I missed it during the talk.
Well, I'm using, I talk about a little bit that I'm using natural language processing. That is like the main base of all of this work. But also on the other side, YouTube, you can read the comments on YouTube. That is something that is publicly available. So YouTube doesn't have any kind of restrictions. Well, it has some, but not major restrictions about people getting the comments. You can work with the API and you can get the comments. That is like the two major sides of this work that you saw.
Great. So did you use, yeah, I have a question about database. What database was used to training? Only comments or something else?
Well, I'm can tell that I'm using Spacey for the side of natural language processing. Maybe that can tell you a little bit about the database. And I have been working with different databases that I have found online. But at the moment, I don't how to say this. I haven't have found something that is quite a match for what I'm doing. I think that is because I mean you can find a lot of information and a lot of models for Twitter, for example, but not for YouTube. So if you if you have something about it, if you had read something about YouTube that you can use as a model, that could be really useful. But yes, that's basically what I'm doing.
All right. I have one more question, very good one. So can your app tell the difference between real comments and those from bots? Or did you plan to develop your product in this direction?
Not exactly. I'm not planning to develop the product in this direction, my service in this direction. At the moment, well, if you read, and I have explored all of this before, and you do have a problem with chat with bots at the moment. There are a lot of comments that are coming from bots. There is actually a really good development that someone else made, detect which comments are from bots and which not. I'm not going in that direction. Or someone already did that and is publicly available and is free, is open source. And but actually, the bots usually are in the replies for the comments. Usually, you have real comment, and then the reply is coming from a bot. This is not like general always happening in that way, but mainly the comments that I get are real comments. And the answers to that comments are coming from bots. So I'm just like leaving that aside because this is what I have learned until now, and I know that I can select or filter those if I want to.
Okay.
But no, I'm not taking that direction.
All right. I have also questions about funding. So did you thought actually to find the investors except of your clients to develop a project and to make a public company with it? Or you want to go with just solutions for you that you may use for consulting YouTubers and analyzing their content?
Well, I'm funding the business myself, but I'm looking to move ahead and get funding basically, and um, add more solutions and more services around YouTube, and not only for YouTubers, also as I mentioned for different businesses and brands and from the marketing side. But basically, I'm funding this business, and until now, that the idea has been having the possibilities open for me because I'm not tied to any other kind of funding. But I'm looking to move a little bit more in the direction of getting funding for make this something bigger and something that could be really helpful for more people.
Okay, question before the last one. Is the app live or in beta somewhere? Can we test, subscribe, buy, or how we can access it?
Actually, it's a service-based kind of product. So at the moment, you can ask for this service, and I can provide it. In the future, maybe it will become an app. I'm exploring that direction actually at the moment, but at the moment it's service. You just ask for, okay, I want you to analyze this video, and I want to get this kind of information, and it's a service. I can provide it, but yes, I'm moving into the direction of app in maybe in a future, not so long.
Okay, and I see a question in the chat that people are interested. Are you looking for partnership and partnering with somebody? Maybe they can be good fit for you. So maybe you can briefly tell us are you looking for partners in general, and maybe for what kind of partners you're looking for now?
Well, I don't have it completely defined, but I know that I need someone that could help me on the business side, because well, I told him I'm a scientist. I don't have a lot of background in business, so I'm looking for someone that can fill that gap and all of that information that I don't know about it, and and probably developers, and yes, I'm looking for people definitely.
And what's your background? So are you a developer, or what's actually your background before starting the business?
Well, I have a PhD in physics.
Okay.
And so during my career, well, my master is in physics, my PhD is in physics, and several years as a researcher. So during that time, I learned how to code, and I learned a lot of machine learning and use a lot of all of these tools. So that is my background.
I see that people are really impressed about what you just said. And I see also like I'm product designer, strategists would love to help. So guys, we will probably just share Lina's LinkedIn, yeah, in the comments. And also you may find it on our platform because she is in the list of speaker for this event. So just feel free to contact with her and she will reply for everybody she wants to. Okay, and it will be the last question. I see there's a lot, and I'm trying just to, make them as a one. So people are asking about how did you come up with the idea, and you covered it a bit in the beginning. And I would combine two of questions here. So first, how you actually came up with the idea of app, and maybe you can give some advices for people because they will be working on their ideas today and tomorrow, like how to come up with very good idea and how to test it before actually building the product.
Okay, well, first, I would like to add just I hope that you can build your products. Have luck with that. And well, it started as an idea basically based on curiosity. I was just watching a video and I was reading the comments, and it was more about curiosity. And at that time, I was learning natural language processing, and basically, it was something really natural. Think about, okay, I know natural language processing. There is a lot of data here, and I'm intrigued about, okay, what can you find in the comments? So basically, that's how this idea was born. But from there, my recommendation is to test if the direction that you think everything is evolving is the right one. And if not, it doesn't mean that the product is not a good product, or just means that maybe you need to look a little bit in another direction, in another kind of with the same idea, maybe another purpose. Maybe you can shape it a little bit different to have a different product that is for some other clients or for some other people. So basically testing, get sure that what you're doing is going to be helpful for others, and be sure that what you're doing is really something that adds value. Because, from my perspective, that is absolutely important. You need to add value to other people, so your product can grow and your product can have all of this feedback as well. So yes, that could be my best recommendation, is to test and check if what you believe your product is doing is actually what it's doing, and how the people or your clients are perceiving that product. And yes, and if that is not the right fit for the product, then you can just shift a little bit, change things a little bit, and probably is going to fit for other clients.
Thank you so much for answering for all of questions we actually had. I'm really grateful that we make it, and actually we had the time to answer for all we have. And okay, there is one more about business model, but I guess we covered it. So the business model was that you have clients, yeah, and you are working as a consultant for them, and you making analytics. I hope this question is covered. Okay, thank you, Lina. I don't want to take your time for more. And now I wanted to ask for all frequently asked questions on the Discord we have, but basically all is covered. And actually, let me invite for now Pavel. Pavel wants to say a few words as well for this hackathon, to give you some inspiration before you will go and start building today. And after that, we'll have one more speaker. Pavel, are you here with us? Are you able to jump on and start your inspirational talk? All
Yes,
right.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. And we're very excited to have you all with us. I think there's over 1,000 people that decided to build their AI startup with us this week. And we couldn't be more excited for this. So we truly believe that artificial intelligence is bringing in a new wave, a new way of how you build and design software. And today, what you can get started is to build something, as I like to say, out of nothing. So the act of creation. And you will be able to create products and services that fulfill the needs of potential customers. I believe that there's many people that joined us that have expertise in specific fields. So I would strongly advise that you search for your teammates and mix teams that have technical expertise and subject matter expertise. So if you really want to solve a problem, this is your chance to do it. And we are extremely excited to announce that the winners of this hackathon on LabLab, the people that really will do their best and will create great projects, will be invited to join our incubation program, Slingshot. There's already a few teams that are working with us day to day, building their AI companies. So you can join that elite group very, very early on. And we're very excited to have so many people join us. I also believe that the quality of the teammates and friends that you can find on LabLab will surprise you. You will be very happy to find people from all over the world joining together and building something that is extraordinary. I believe personally that technology can be distributed more evenly and level out the playing field, give everybody a more equitable chance on creating something valuable. There's a tremendous group of mentors here that will guide you through this process. Some of them are here on the stream with us. Some of them you the LabLab Discord servers. Myself, Matthias, and Simon are very proud that you are joining us today, together with the whole team. and I wish you all the best and great success, as Borat says in the end. So we really want you to succeed. So if you need anything, please reach out to us, reach out to our team, and we will give you the support that you need. This is the time where everybody can build their AI product, AI startup, and your journey starts today with lablab.ai.
Thank you, Pavel. Thank you so much, guys. I see we still have a lot of questions on our Twitch channel. Let me answer for all of them. And after that, I would love to have 5-minute break before the next speaker, as he wants to test everything and he has some issues with accessing to the platform. So we need to solve it. 5-minute break, and we'll come back with the next amazing talk. There will be Adam, who found his own AI startup, and he also wants to give you some sort of inspiration before you will start building. Let's go with questions you have. So there is a question about maximum number of people in the team. Well, you may work in solo team if you already know your concept and you are sure that you can make it. But the maximum number is 6 people. It's actually perfect amount of people in the team to be ready with product in 6 days, 7 days of the hackathon. Yeah, what's benefits inside of the Slingshot program? Probably Pavel covers most of it, but I can just summarize that it's a huge opportunity for you to have this first like boost and push when you are trying to build your actual product and launch on the market. So that's the huge benefit for you, and also you will have access to a lot of technologies being in the program. So that can be quite beneficial for early stage startup, I believe. Okay.
Olesha, I don't
Yes.
know if maybe I can add one or two
Sure.
things around Slingshot. So we've partnered up with the top technology providers from the AI labs. So you get access to models. That's number one, right? So you get access to the foundation models that you can build on. And obviously you get access to that in the hackathon as well, but later on you get additional credits and additional ability to build with those. Ultimately, you also get compute, so you get access to either Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services. You get G Suite, so a bunch of perks and benefits. But the most important part is that you get to work directly with a team from LabLab and New Native, and we will help you to pinpoint your use case. We will help you to pinpoint how to how to take your prototype into product. So we'll help you with production APIs, with production database deployments, with commercial models, with payment gateways. So all of that we will help you with, and to get your product to market and start to either have users if you decide that it's free to use, or to have paying users if you decide that it's paid to use. We also open doors to customers if that's something that you're looking for. So ideally, the Slingshot is designed for you to do a 4 to 5 week program, and in the end, you have a minimum viable product that can service more than one customer. So that's the idea here.
Thank you, Pavel, for adjustment. And let me also answer for the rest of questions we have here. Well, here's the questions regarding API access and technologies. Let me answer for all of them in one. So yes, for this hackathon, you need to use generative AI. As you may read the description for this hackathon, we are providing some tools that we have tutorials on the platform about these tools. We have tech papers for these tools as well. So you will be able to actually build with that tools during the event, and we are supporting you with all the necessary information. And the list of the tools you may see actually on the event description, it's basically all the tools that are available on the platform. And yes, for this hackathon, you need to use generative AI technologies. Also, if you want to use some others technologies that you know would be useful for your project, you just feel free to use it. And that's basically it. But the thing of this hackathon, the main purpose is to use generative AI models to build your AI solutions. Let me check. Do we have more questions? Yeah, about Slingshot program, also Pavel just covered the question we have about equity and financial support. So
Yeah, so just to answer on that question. So the question was, what is the outcome of the sling? Oh, sorry. What was how do we operate the Slingshot? So we don't take any equity upfront. We would like you to allow us to invest cash in the next round, that when you raise capital, and I hope that you win, and we can give you all the details. So I can tell you it's really worth it, and there's a long line of benefits, but we do not take any equity upfront. We want you to build the best product first of all, and then we can look at getting access to capital together and also investing into your startups.
okay. And also, yeah, there was the question, what's LabLab.ai get from this, or what's the model here? So that also was covered. And
Yeah, so just to very quickly, so LabLab is free forever. Yeah, we it's not a like, and it's free for everybody to use. So all we want is more people to build really cool products with AI. We showcase your products, your services, and in the end, if you create something really, really meaningful and you work with us, then we would like to be able to give you benefits, perks, and ideally to invest into your company at some stage. So all of those things, but ultimately our goal is to have a great experience here and to have a lot of people build something very cool. And we want to solve big problems with artificial intelligence and technology. Like, we want to really help people as a civilization to accelerate innovation. So what we get from this is hopefully solving the climate issue. We hopefully get to solve productivity. We get to solve autonomous driving. Whatever is that you want to solve and it's good for us all, we will support it.
all right. Thank you so much for detailed explanation of Slingshot. I see huge interest from people about the program. They asking a lot of questions, guys. You may just contact Pavel if you are interested in this, or our team, and we'll be more than happy to provide you with more information regarding Slingshot. And for now, we do not need a break. Adam is here. Adam, happy to welcome you. Happy to welcome you here with us, and I'm really looking forward to hear your story. Pavel, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome Adam. Really nice to see you. Great that you can make it. And that on LabLab Discord there's a Slingshot channel, and we invite everybody to go there and ask questions. We are happy that there's so much interest. We love you all that for asking these very good questions. So please join the LabLab Discord. There's a Slingshot channel, and let's just talk in there, and we will figure everything out together. And yes, thank you very much, Adam, for joining us.
All right, thank you very much, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Should I just get started with the talk then?
Yeah, of course. And after that, I will go back to you with Q&A session. I'm sure we will have a lot of questions today.
Perfect, sounds great. All right, let me try to share my screen.
Let us know if you would have any issues. We will be.
I think this should be good. Hopefully you can see my screen. I can't see you anymore, but I'm gonna assume everything is working unless you tell me otherwise.
Max,
So,
can we see the screen?
sorry?
Maxim, please confirm that we can see the screen, because I probably can't.
You should be seeing my slide deck.
Yeah, Maxim? Nothing, yeah, we do not see it. All right, let me check. Do you have access to sharing the screen? Okay. And It should be good for now. You may start with a short intro about your talk. What do you want to talk about it today while we will be solving it? Okay.
Sure. So my name is Adam Ścibio. I'm a co-founder at CTO of Inverted AI. We're a Vancouver-based startup, a UBC spin-out working in the self-driving car space. So I have a bunch of slides to explain you exactly the problem we're solving. But long story short, it's generative AI for modeling the human driving behavior on the road. So basically today I wanted to tell you the story of how the company came to be, and from the early days to where we are now. Hopefully, share some excitement and enthusiasm and motivate all of you to create great things in the hackathon.
So let's now you should be able to share the screen. Please check it out.
Okay. Am I sharing the screen? Oh, that looks better.
Yes,
Perfect.
we can see. Great.
Okay. So we can go right into it. So basically, this is an illustration of a typical problem you face when building a self-driving car. So this is a recording of a certain traffic scenario we've observed here in Vancouver. And I'd like you to pay attention to the two cars circled in red here. As you see, they're basically executing a pretty simple maneuver where the black car wants to turn to the left lane and the white car wants to go to the right lane. Okay, and they complete that without any issue. Now, suppose you're a self-driving company, you're building a self-driving car, it has some basic capabilities, but you want to add to it capability to handle this sort of scenario where it has to swap lanes with another car. And in order to make it safe and effective and efficient, you want to train this in simulation. So the question really becomes, how do we create a simulation that can capture this sort of scenario and allow the car to learn the correct behavior? And basically, the established approach in the industry is something that's called log replay, which is basically I go here, record this situation, model this road in a virtual world, and then we pick a self-driving car, which for our purposes will be the white car circled in red here. And now we're gonna basically replay the behaviors of everyone else around us. So all the other cars, we've recorded them doing something, and we're gonna place it in simulation. So to give you an idea how this works, this is a reenactment of what we've just seen in Carla, where a similar sort of maneuver takes place. Right? Assuming the top vehicle is the self-driving one and the black one on the bottom is what the human does. Now, if you basically replay this exact scenario with the behavior of the black car fixed, and then you as an AV decide to be a little more conservative, and instead of going first, you try to slow down, like this is basically what happens. You slow down, you try to yield to the black car, and then it just runs into you for no particular reason. And the reason this happens is precisely because your simulation is not reactive. It's not realistic in the fundamental way that matters, in that the behavior of the black car is fixed, while in reality, a human would adjust to what the AV is doing and do something like this. So they see you yielding, you can go in front of you, you can go behind them, and that's successful. So really, at the very heart of it, the challenge we are solving is how to build a simulation that acts like this, which provides a realistic human behavior that's also reactive to what the self-driving car that you're trying to build is doing. Let me just switch to a different slide deck now. Basically, there are three requirements we need for the non-playable characters in those simulations that act like humans. We need them to be realistic, we need them to be reactive, and we need them to be diverse, right? And crucially, we have to cover all those three. If they're not realistic, then obviously whatever you learn in simulation isn't going to translate to the real world. They need to be reactive. This is really the crucial point that I was just illustrating with this little intro example. And we need them to be diverse, meaning to cover really the full variety of the human behaviors you can encounter on the road. So that's basically the problem that we're going after at Inverted AI. And as of today, we build this pipeline where we go record how humans behave in the real world, process that data, model it, and build generative models, and put them in simulation. But this is what we have today. How did we get there? So this is, at the very beginning. This is probably one of our first slides we've ever had in any of the pitch decks. So this is year 2019. I'm a postdoc at UBC with Professor Frank Wood, now my co-founder and CEO of Inverted AI. And we basically figured, okay, this is the problem we want to work on. It would be great to do a startup to pursue it. And this was the very first illustration I did, where basically on the left there's a driving simulator. I parked this red car across the lanes in the intersection, and you see that it just freezes the entire intersection in that the non-playable characters in the simulator can't really deal with that. They get stuck, and you can keep them there forever. They're not gonna be able to do anything about it. And the reason for that is really they are very simple hand-coded rule-based algorithms, which are basically like, okay, this is the lane, follow the lane. If there is an obstacle in the lane, wait for it to clear and then proceed. Okay. So there's really a huge gap between this kind of stuff that's available in driving simulators and the kind of stuff you see on the right, where humans can smoothly navigate and negotiate the road and really pass without having any collisions. So basically, this was the original idea. Let's make driving behavior models that can capture those sorts of complexities. But now, there is this question, like, every time you start a company, okay, I have a plan. We can go record the data, gather some, basically build some models, hire a bunch of people to train them, build infrastructure, and so on. And with that, we produce those simulations. But then you go to investors and they're like, okay, well, but what do you have today? Have you built your MVP yet, and so on? And hopefully in this hackathon, we'll see a lot of you building such MVPs. And if that's possible for your business, that's great. But in many cases, you find yourself in this sort of typical deep tech startup situation where you couldn't possibly build this product, in a sense that we need to go out, collect all the data. We need lots of data for models to be good, train it, package it. There's no way, I can do it with my co-founder in our basement. But, how do we make something minimal that we can show to people there is something here, we have promising technology, and you should fund this. So really, well, this is year 2020 in the middle of lockdowns, where I was, stuck at home, basically coding all day, all night for it. And this is, some early concept work you see in Carla, where we try to illustrate certain finer points of the kind of behaviors we expect the people to be able to produce that the NPCs in simulations typically don't. So on the left, you see that there's a car making a left turn, and then the others are swerving around it because there is just enough room to fit there. And on the right, you see a basic example of a courtesy yield where technically the vehicle we're following has the right of way, but is just stopping to let the blue car in. And those are the kinds of behaviors that are tough to model, that we somehow want to extract from data and provide in simulation. But obviously, I couldn't build it at the time. It didn't have any data, didn't have any resources. So this is some early mock-up. Basically, I would just connect a steering wheel to Carla and drive those vehicles manually, one by one, to get some illustrations for the deck. In parallel with that, basically the technical component of the work we did with a few students at UBC is, fortunately, there came out this interaction data set where someone recorded a few hours of video with a drone to model how people drive, and posted a challenge, which is basically a prediction challenge, showing where the goal is to observe 1 second of human behavior and then predict what those human drivers are gonna do in the next 3 seconds. So we use that data set, build a model called ITRA, short for Imagining the Road Ahead, which you can read about in our paper, but this is the fundamental technology that was developed back then that underpins what we do at Inverted AI to this day. And those are some early results you see here, where basically those are the maps from the interaction challenge. You see 1 second of history where everything is a little darker, and then the colors brighten up. That's the start of prediction. And basically, this is a demonstration for what sort of behaviors the model is capable of learning. So this is pure generative deep learning approach in a sense that there are no hand-coded rules or features. We basically had a lightweight driving simulator, and in that we put a driving policy which just observes what's happening through the sort of bird's eye view rendering like you see here. And then each vehicle is independently making its own decisions about how to navigate this world. And you see the results here in terms of both accuracy and diversity. How you see this red car is predicted can either stay on the roundabout or exit, or even more complicated maneuvers like blue cars overtaking. So those were the early initial results we got at the university. We were very excited to be able to produce that because the data set was there. We built a model, got state-of-the-art results, outperforming all the baselines available at the time. Since then, people have made progress on this challenge, but this is the year 2020. We got the results. We're very happy about it, and we figured, okay, this is exciting. We have state-of-the-art behavioral models. Surely that's enough. We can go out, raise some investment, and then really build a company around it. And that's basically what happened. With those demos, we went out there, showed, look, there is a promising technology. We have a plan for how to make it into a reality. And in October 2021, we raised our initial funding. And since then, it's been, a year and a half. This was basically, the slide that summarized our approach in the initial pitch decks for that round. Just, we want to record data from a drone, process it, use it to construct behavioral models and instantiate them in simulation. So what you see now on the right is still Carla, but this time this is no longer a mock-up. Now it's the actual learned behavioral models that's executing the maneuvers here. Fast forward where we are now, a year and a half later, there is a public API for behavioral models that I'll tell you a bit about later. We basically assembled the whole operation from recording drones, hired pilots to go out, record footage with drones, process that data, build the entire infrastructure for continuously improving tracking models, extract those tracks, train ITRA, improve the predictions of it, and then integrate it into a REST API that the customers can now call and obtain their behaviors. So it exists, it's out there, released as a Python package. The API is paid, so you need to pay for an API key to be able to use it. But it is launched, it's available out there. And basically, there are two endpoints that are making up the whole experience. So in order to start the simulation, you want something that will initialize your vehicles to some sensible positions where, again, you want to cover the whole diversity of what can happen in the real world. So this is a visualization of our initialized backend, where basically on the backend it's running a diffusion model, placing cars around, and this gives you a snapshot of what could be happening at the roundabout in Carla in this instance. We pick the ego vehicle, and then we say, okay, this is the autonomous driving car that's being tested in simulation, and its goal is to traverse the roundabout, avoiding hitting the other cars. And this forms a test case scenario. Okay, we've initialized, and now we're gonna move to drive, where you basically see that the simulated behavior of that red car that's cutting in, and those are the NPCs controlled by ITRA. So basically that forms a test case scenario where the ego vehicle is experiencing a cut-in, needs to slow down and brake to avoid a collision, even though it technically has the right of way. So that's the basic setup, but what's great about it is that this is built entirely with generative AI. This isn't hand-coded rules, selected examples, or even replay from anything in the log. So we can generate arbitrarily many of those just by running queries of the API. Right? It doesn't matter what map it is. You can just take this totally made-up intersection in Carla that we've never seen, never recorded any data on it because it doesn't in fact exist, and initialize vehicles on it and play some behaviors which then you can use to test your vehicle. So the interaction model we have this is, by the way, very much inspired by GPT and how OpenAI made their language models available. In much like the GPT is a continuation model where you give it a little text and send it through the API, and the API sends you back the continuation of that text. This is exactly how our API for driving behaviors is working. You basically send us a little snippet of this is what happened on the road. We tell you what happens after. Now, the only difference is that because the simulation needs to be reactive, there actually is a call going back and forth in every simulation step. So the interaction model is a user, which is a company building a self-driving car. They want to run a simulation on their server to validate or train their vehicle. And they tell us, okay, on this map, we want to run a scenario with this many agents. We call, they make a call to the initialized backend. We run our diffusion model, send them back the agent states, and they obtain the initial simulation state in Carla. And now basically at every time step, they're gonna step the simulator, and while they're running their perception and planning and control stack to generate the actions for their AV, at the same time they make a call to our Drive API where they say, okay, this is the current state. There is some recurrent state that makes the API stateless, and while they're making the decision for their ego vehicle, we make the decision for all the NPCs. We send it back, and they put it together with the actions of their ego vehicle to obtain the full simulation. And that's repeated at every time step. So that's the basic interaction model through which we provide behavioral models as a service and give the user the ability to run their simulation in any variations, however many they want, in arbitrary locations, test their vehicles as much as they want. Right? And I've hinted on this already, but our pipeline as a company is basically we go out there, we record human behavior with a drone. So we basically go to intersections, roundabouts, highway merges, all those interesting locations where interactive stuff happens. We process it with a tracking algorithm to extract the behaviors. We use it to train ITRA and then run it to do certain adjustments in the target locations, put it through the API, and then the customer assembles it to create the simulation. So there's a lot I could get into regarding the details of the whole operation and whatnot, but I know you're all excited to start building, so I'm gonna try to keep this short. Just wanna show you a few examples of what those behavioral models are capable of. So basically, we've 2 months ago now, basically found out, okay, I think this is the time where our behavioral models are good enough that we can actually put them in production, and to the extent that it's hard to tell whether it's our NPCs or the actual humans. So we've made a little Turing test where 3 of those examples are the real recordings of human drivers doing stuff on the road, and the other 3 are the calls to the inverted AI API, and made it a little task to can you tell which is which. So typically, in this presentation, I give people a little time to look at it, decide, can you guess which one is which? I don't think we want to spend time on this in this format, but I can tell you that we've tried it. It's very difficult to tell what's what. People typically will attempt 1 or 2 of those and give up. You get quite realistic behaviors, and you really can't tell. Okay, I'm getting a little too excited watching that, so I'm just gonna skip through it. Maybe we can come back to those in a question. But the one thing I wanted to mention to you here as the community interested in AI hackathons is, as a company, our primary activity is providing this behavioral modeling service, but we also are still involved in the research community. We have a good number of sponsored PhD students and internal researchers publishing papers about the work. We also started releasing open source software to support the community. So this is a very, very fresh drop just yesterday put on PyPy. We've not even announced it yet, so you guys are the first to know. We've just open sourced the driving simulator that I've been using for all those illustrations, and that's the underpinning engine that we use for internal development. The name is Torch Drive Sim. It's built entirely in PyTorch end-to-end differentiable simulator, support lightweight, efficient simulations of driving behaviors. Available on GitHub and PyPy. Pip install Torch Drive Sim is basically all you have to do. The really cool features are, there's integration with Inverted AI API, which provides the realistic NPC behaviors that you can use to train and validate your models. So that's the paid feature, but even without that, the simulator itself is quite powerful in terms of providing a substrate on which you can build all kinds of imitation and reinforcement learning applications. So the examples are still fairly fresh or small, in a sense that we are planning to release specific benchmarks and training environments associated with it. But if anyone is keen to get started, the software is available up there. Give us feedback, feature requests. We're very receptive to respond to needs from the community. So if anyone is interested in trying out this problem of modeling human behavior or generally training self-driving cars, definitely give that a go. Okay, there's a bunch more stuff I can talk about, but ideally, I'd like to make this a little interactive and leave a lot of time for questions. So that basically concludes the formal part of my presentation. Here's my email. Hit me up with anything you have, thoughts, questions, looking for a job, anything. I'm very happy to hear from you and respond to your emails.
Thanks so much, Adam. I see that people are starting with their questions, and I'm really happy to move to a Q&A session with you. All right. So let me start with question from my side, and then it will be easier for us to go to transfer to people's questions. So tell me, please, which AI models that you use for this, and is generated AI somehow correlated with your project as well?
For sure. So basically, all we do is generative AI, in a sense that our CEO likes to say we used to do generative AI before it was cool. So we are coming from this Bayesian modeling school of generative models where, all the discriminative models are just the inverse of the generative process of vision as graphics, that sort of stuff. So we've always been in this camp. And the Mitra model is very much a generative model in a sense that it is a driving policy expressed as a neural network combined with a driving simulator. So factorizing in agents. So basically it's like a VRNN that at each time step is the agents are sampling from a distribution of behaviors, and that together leads to emergent behaviors of the whole system. Now, if we're talking generative AI in terms of diffusion models and what's the current hype, that's certainly getting there as well. So like I mentioned, the initialize backend for placing the vehicles is based entirely on a diffusion model. It's not any particular architecture that's available out there. It's very much a custom version, but it is a diffusion model. We have a bunch of experimental work using these sorts of transformer diffusion architectures for driving behaviors, which are showing some promise in terms of being the next generation of what we do. But as of today, the ITRA models are what's in production, mostly because they are actually cheap to run and we can do that quickly, unlike those big transformer diffusion models, which take a while longer and wouldn't be practical.
All right, I see a very similar question. Maybe it helps more and make it more descriptive. What AI type algorithm did you use to train, like reinforcement learning, DL, GANs, etc.?
So what we do is certainly deep learning based, primarily imitation learning. We have certain work on reinforcement learning, like algorithms that can fine-tune this behavior. But the core of it really is imitation learning. So we go record the human behavior and then try to basically by maximum likelihood reproduce it. Now, the key thing is that we don't just do behavioral cloning, which is this form of imitation learning where just for a particular state you try to match the action that a human actor took. That leads to a certain drift where over time you get out of domain and the error compounds. So that's the whole reason why we built this differentiable driving simulator. So it actually propagates the errors, and when we call backprop through the simulation step, we actually get to learn to correct that behavior. So it is a form of imitation learning, but it is a little more sophisticated than behavioral cloning.
All right. It sounds really tech specific, and for me as a former business and marketing person, it sounds really complex as problem that I can't really so well understand. People, if you have a more technical question to Adam, feel free to ask, and I will be more than happy to read it. Let me ask you more from startup perspective, so it can be helpful for people who are working on the hackathon now. Was you in the first team when you were start building this startup? Or you joined the startup when it was already built?
Oh, I was, I'm a co-founder. I was there
Okay.
from the very beginning. I'm actually the one who did the incorporation paperwork.
Great, great. Okay, so when did you start working on it? I mean, for how long the startup already on the market?
So I came to Vancouver for a postdoc in 2019 with the
Okay.
rough idea that it's gonna lead to a startup in some shape or form. But it wasn't really until mid 2020 that we started working on that stuff seriously. So yeah, June 2020, I think, is the official kickoff day where we assembled the team, started
Okay.
doing the work. And then October 2021 is when we got the initial funding.
Okay, and that was basically my second question. I'm really interested in investments because you started working with AI when it was less popular, as you mentioned. And was it challenging really that time to find investors for this? And how was this process? And also what was the project like? How it was look like? On which stage it was when you started working for investors?
I guess the first thing I should say is raising money is absolutely a horrible, gut-wrenching process, and anyone I talk to who's ever raised money, they say they absolutely never want to do it again and they hate it. And I totally understand why. It's not easy at all. And, you read about all those companies raising big rounds, essentially for not much other than some vision, and you think, oh, it can't be that difficult. I just talk to some investors and they sprinkle me with money, and then you try to do it and you find out that this is really not the case. And it's hard. It's legitimately hard. It's very easy. Basically, you go to those investors and you tell them about what you want to build, and they ask, well, you have a prototype. Is it working? Do you have customers? Do you have traction? And basically, no matter how much you have, they're always going to ask for more. And it can be a very frustrating experience. So it takes a certain, I don't know, magical touch to be able to complete the fundraising despite it. I must say I'm no good at it. It's my co-founder Frank who raised our initial funding and is dealing with the current round. So I'm very grateful to him for dealing with that. All I can say is raising money is hard, and unfortunately that's the way it is.
I see people in the chat supporting you a lot, like lol true. It's like eating nails to the breakfast. So I guess there are startup people who know what they are talking about. All right, we just covered the raising, and let me know, please, how many time it took for you to go from idea of the project when you already decided you will go and build the project to have kind of working prototype so you can go to users and test it.
So, like I mentioned, we basically started working on this stuff in June 2020. The initial release of our API was November 2022. So we're really talking 2.5 years of effort.
Okay.
So this is a little unusual in a sense that, like I mentioned, we are this deep tech sort of company where there's a lot of work that needs to be done for development before you can put it in the hands of users. It's even more extreme with companies building actual self-driving cars. Many of them work for 10 years and still don't have a product. So it's certainly not something that I would say is typical or recommended, in that the vast majority of startups, you can build some sort of prototype and have your MVP, make it available to users, iterate on that quickly. The faster you can do it, the better. If you want to do the deep tech route and work on some hard core technology first, you really need to be able to somehow pull the funding, and that's tricky.
Okay, and to make a little reflection, what do you think if you would start work on the startup now or like a few months ago with a lot of models are available now, pre-trained models are available, do you think it would take less time or in your field it will still take like from 6 months as it took?
I think for us, it probably isn't that much different than it was when we started. I'd say there are more data sets available out there. So in terms of making the initial prototype, there are more data sets, there is more tooling. You could potentially put a demo together faster. But in terms of leveraging existing technologies, those large language models aren't unfortunately of much use to us, or stable diffusion also cannot generate traffic behaviors. So unfortunately, it doesn't matter that much to us.
All right. All right, let me ask question before the last one, hopefully. In case people you have more questions, feel free to ask about investments, or maybe about the team, or about creating the prototype. Yeah, just feel free to do this. And what are you the most excited over in AI? You personally, I would say.
Oh, I have to pick a favorite. I think like what is currently and most thought-provoking to me, and what I'm excited about, is how those large language models are put together with different sort of systems that allow for continuous interactions. So obviously we have ChatGPT and Google. Now Bing has this assistant that you can talk to and have a conversation with. I guess the most exciting work for me personally I've seen in recent years would be Cicero from Meta AI Labs, which is this bot that learned to play diplomacy and basically beat human. If you've never seen that, it's absolutely crazy. So the diplomacy is this game where you negotiate with. It's a board game where you negotiate with people to make alliances and break them and whatnot. And they basically build a bot that can play with people and negotiate with them in natural language and be able to outperform the human players, deceive them, and all that. And I think the craziest part I've seen, there was like a little snippet of chat where for whatever reason the bot went offline for a moment and its conversation partner started getting suspicious, and then the bot just says, "Oh, sorry, I was on the phone with my girlfriend, I couldn't talk." It just made that up and it worked. So yeah, I think an interface of those models with these more strategic behaviors is what I'm quite excited about. And frankly, this is why we work on this problem in self-driving car space that has to do with negotiating the road and making sure your behavior is in line with what others are expecting and can deal with.
Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks for sharing your passion in AI, and I guess robot that trained to come up with I forgot what I wanted actually to say. So yeah, excuses for why I didn't attend the meeting or why I didn't answer. It's very nice. I would need it. I have one more really tech specific question for you, and I'm not sure I will pronounce all the names correctly. So just if something ask me and I will read again. So thank you for the talk. All the ATRI concept is super interesting. Do you use model based on DRL? I hope you know what does it mean.
Too many acronyms. Okay, can you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. Person told that thanks you for talk, and the ITRR concept was super interesting. So do you use model based on DRL?
Oh, deep reinforcement learning.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, yes. So yeah, the question is, do we use deep reinforcement learning in our work? The answer is sort of, in a sense that we don't just go out and apply PPO or SAC on some environment until we get the right policy. But we do something similar. We certainly start with this imitation learning policy, because in the unconstrained space, it's just hopeless to do deep reinforcement learning for this problem. We have algorithms like primary, you can find our work on Critic SMC that's just been accepted to iClear, where we do something that's mostly deep reinforcement learning. It's a little different. Roughly, it has to do with making sure that we cover the full diversity of observed behaviors and not discard all the different ways that people can do stuff. Because normally deep reinforcement learning is about maximizing reward. And I guess if you had some sort of, reward, you couldn't even define a reward for human likeness, because there isn't a single policy that's human-like. It's more like all those different ways you can do it. So sorry, that's not a very precise answer, but the short is yes, we do something like DeepRL, but it's not quite what you get in off-the-shelf algorithms, and you should totally read our paper.
I see that we do not have any more questions. Guys, it's your last chance to ask. And I will go with my final one. I really prepared it till the end. So as you know, people for the 7 days will work on their solutions. So in 7 days, they need to complete their ready to use actually app, like demo of it. And maybe you can give some advice for people who will be on this journey only in 7 days that you completed in 6 months. Maybe they can avoid some mistakes regarding team, regarding building the project. I'm really open to hear all you can tell because you had really good experience in this. The stage is yours.
Yeah, I must say 7 days is very, very little. And certainly the kind of strategy you would take when you have 6 months versus 7 days is different. So I'd say when you only have 7 days, the game is not build some system and iterate on your models. It's more like grab what stuff is already available and see if you can stitch it together and make something useful out of it. So I would say if you find yourself writing a bunch of code that's not just gluing together existing frameworks, it's probably gonna take you much longer than 7 days to get your project completed.
Just to give some background, it will be a generative AI model, so it's much more easier to use in this short period of time. So text generation, image generation, and code generation models. And maybe you also have something to add about team, especially devs will be working together. So about splitting the job and maybe some managerial advices for people in a startup when they will plan to go further with the project.
I guess my advice on that front would be avoid management as much as you can for as long as you can. I think a rule of thumb would be until you get to about 20 people, you can get by without formal management practices, and I would encourage you to do so. So, whatever works for you and your teammates to organize and coordinate, like just do that and don't stress too much about, best practices and planning and tracking issues. It's really not worth it. I've been through this process a few times at various stages of the company where I'm like, okay, well, we need to get more organized, so make sure we stay on target and deliver what we want. And I try to implement like different processes for writing documentation and tracking issues and whatnot, and like basically none of it stuck. The reality is you just build as fast as you can, you ship it, and if you're small enough team that you all fit in one room, you really don't need any more than like maybe one whiteboard and then just talking to each other.
Thanks a lot for sharing. I guess it will work because our team is like 6 people, so it will work for sure in one room with one dashboard. All right, I really thank you a lot for your time. We spent a lot on talking about startups and about your project. Guys, just quick reminder that this lecture is recorded, so you will have the recording after the session. If you want to recap on something or you want to connect with Adam, you can find him on LinkedIn or just to watch again this session. Thank you, Adam, a lot. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. If you want to contact me, it's adam@inverted.ai. Should be easy enough to remember. It was great talking to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the exciting stuff you guys produce in those 7 days.
We will definitely share with you, so you may check everything on lablab.ai. Thank you, guys, and it's time to finalize what we had for today. And let me check, do we have any questions in the chat? We have appreciation for Adam a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's actually an advertisement of some teams, and people are thanking to Adam for a nice talk. If you still have some more technical question to Adam in regarding the startup, please make sure to contact him or find him on LinkedIn. His LinkedIn is on our lablab.ai event, this hackathon page. So you will find all the information about him and you may just contact him. For now, it's time to say thank you for everybody to join the stream. We had plenty of people here, and I see that most of you stayed with us till the end. I hope it was extremely valuable for you. And I just want to quickly remind you before I will let you go form the teams and working on the project that if you need some additional help, you have the channel on Discord of this hackathon. You have I Need Help channel and also Tech Mentor. Feel free to tag us, and we will be more than happy to jump on and help you to answer for all the questions you may have. Yeah, you may see it actually all the text now on the slide. Yeah, and here's the question: will you have access to the additional platform or technology during this time, guys? As I told, tag page of our platform is lablab.ai/t. There you have all the documentation and all the information about accesses to the different types of technologies that we will use for this hackathon. Feel free to go there and you will find it. Also, tag us on Discord if you need additional information about technologies. I hope that's it for today. And this time to say I wish you really good luck with your work on your projects. I hope you already have some ideas what you want to work on during this time. Now it's time for team formation. So go to Discord, go to lablab.ai platform and find the people with whom you will work during this hackathon. Make sure they are active and just start building. Thank you so much for joining the stream and see you on Discord.